So, why did I quit my 9 to 5 job? Now, what I didn't share with people a long time ago was before I got into real estate, there was a period of a couple months where I interviewed with a lot of 9 to 5 jobs, turned a lot of them down, even though I was accepted. And at the time, when I was new, I worked with Honda for a little bit. I never really shared this, but I don't know if you guys know who like the helpful Honda team is, those 3 people that are always together in the little blue uniforms. I worked with Honda. I did that project for a little bit. I did something else with them, and it was what you call like a 9 to 5. It was very temporary, and I didn't like it, right? And I'm gonna list a few reasons why I didn't like it and why I would never go back to a 9 to 5 environment, okay? Number one is the environment itself of the 9 to 5. And I'm sure a lot of people will attest to this unless they work at a place that's the exception to the rule. Just the environment was so negative, right? Everybody is complaining, everybody claims they're not happy, they want to do something else. And me, because even before I got into the whole self-development thing and pickup and everything, I still would say I wasn't negative, right? I maybe wasn't overly positive like one of those, but I was still, pretty positive, smiley, happy person. And I would just end up sucking up all that negative energy, and it pissed me off. It really pissed me off. And I would leave work just pissed off, like, oh, why do I fucking hate this place so much? And I don't want to do this anymore. And I would go in smiling and leave upset because I was absorbing all that negative energy, and it just pissed me off, right? On top of that, you have people who are talking trash about the leaders, and then in their face, they're kissing their ass. And it's just like, I'm like, dude, like how hypocritical can you be? You talk trash about this guy, but then when he shows up or whenever you're in a group setting, you kiss his ass. Like, you're an idiot, you're dumb, you're beta, get over it, right? And then you complain that you don't like your job. So it's like that environment itself was so poisonous and so, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even have to describe it anymore, just horrible, right? Something that I did not like, and said, okay, I need to get myself as far away from this as possible. Quick plug right now, make sure that you guys go in the comment section right now. Let me know, are you working a 9 to 5 right now? Do you want to get out? Do you have the courage to start your own thing? I want to hear in the comment section where you're watching from and what your current situation is, whether you're an entrepreneur, a 9 to 5er, or you're in the transition period. One of the main reasons I didn't like it, right, was the fact that I wasn't being based or paid based on my production. I was being paid based on what my hourly salary was. Yet I'm looking around, everyone else is kind of sitting around not doing anything. I'm over here being 2, 3, 4, even 5 times as more productive as them, and I'm getting paid the same compensation. This doesn't make any sense. In my mind, I want to be paid based on my production, right? Which is one of the reasons I looked at sales and real estate and said, this is it. Because I'm not going to get paid what everybody else is. I'm going to get paid based on the work that I put in. Not just because, I'm set at 15 an hour, right? So that was one of the biggest things for me, and I want to highlight that for a couple seconds, is getting paid what you're worth, right? I feel like at a 9 to 5, you're not. Now, if you're somebody who just barely skates by and you take advantage of the system and you like working as minimum as possible to get your money, okay, I don't agree with that at all. I think it's pathetic, but if that's what you want to do, cool, go for it, right? But at the same time, don't be like the first example. Don't sit there and complain about your job when you're working the minimum, which is what I saw a lot of people doing. And to me, it was like, okay, you're very hypocritical. You're not putting in any work, complaining at the same time that you want more, but even here at the job, you're not giving 100%. And my motto is, I don't care who you are. You could be the maid, the janitor, the top CEO. Whatever you are, you do it 100%, period. Even if you're not happy where you're at and you got to work your way up, you give it 100%. Now, this will segue into my next point is, in real estate, or what I chose in sales, you can ascend quickly. In the job that I was doing, and in most corporate jobs or 9 to 5 jobs, you have to work your way up this ladder. And in the meantime, or in the process, like a lot of people do, they feel obligated to kiss ass and do all that stuff. I didn't want to do that, right? If somebody's being stupid at my job, I called them out, right? I had a lot of pretty heated discussions with managers and leaders because they were doing stuff or saying things that to me was like playing their power card, but I'm not going to sit there and take it. Right? So I knew right away, I was like, okay, obviously me being in this environment, I don't fit in this environment. I'm like a lion amongst sheep. And then one sheep with a hat on, is trying to impose their will on me. I'm not going to take it, right? Because it wasn't like I was just flexing to flex. They were doing something wrong or saying something wrong or trying to get away with something because they had rank And I said, you can't do that. That's BS. Then I would go to the top superior and they told me, well, that's just the way it is. And I said, well, I'm not going to work at a place where the excuse is, well, that's just the way it is. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't stand for that. It's not fair. So I'm out of here. Right? Now with that comes the risk of, okay, well, you have to do your own thing. What are you going to do? Oh my God. You have a job. How can you give it up? I was like, dude, how retarded are you? You're the same person who complains about the job, yet when I leave and say I'm going to do something, you want to take me down for it because you don't have the balls to do it. This is my answer to them. Right? So the superiors and the people that I work with would tell me that. So dude, you're complaining about the job, then when I leave and do something, right? So that in itself, again, I didn't like, right? Having to work your way up this ladder, I didn't like at all. I thought it was ridiculous, right? Now I understand, okay, you have to put your time in. I get it, right? If there's a structure for a company, cool. However, if I'm performing better than everybody, bringing more value to you as the leader, being a great representative of the company and the brand, should I not be compensated for that? So-and-so Bob over here gets promoted just because he kisses your ass or because his dad knows you? I'm not down with that. Not at all. Okay? Another point is I'm putting in all this work and breaking my back and I'm building somebody's dream. The owner, obviously, is coming in with his fancy car and I'm driving a Nissan Versa at the time. Now that's cool. Obviously in the moment I opted to work for him and that's a choice that I'm making. However, long term, that's not something I want to do because I'm building somebody else's dream, which is one of the other reasons that I opted to do my own thing. Because some people will look at this now and say, well, you have team members that are helping you build your dream. Well, it's a little bit different because it's not all the first points that I just discussed, it's not applying to where I work. All right, so most team leaders will have a fixed split with their team. Mine is performance-based. You sell more houses, you keep more money. Right? And additionally, the coming in fee that I give my team members is higher. Right? A lot of places you go in real estate, they'll require you to have a mentor for your first couple deals. I don't require that with my team, right? I'm training them beforehand, so when they get the deal, I may look over the shoulder, but I'm not going to take as much as somebody who splits the deal with them, even though they still may be in my same exact position in another company, meaning they're looking over the shoulder, but they're not really doing the transaction, right? So I've taken these elements that I don't like from the 9-to-5 or corporate world, and I've implemented them into my team, okay? So those are just a couple of points that I wanted to go over. That's my personal take on it. I know some people may watch this video and get offended, or they may be the person who kind of falls into that category of wanting something new and complaining. So this is a message to you. Whatever you're doing, don't settle, right? If the 9-to-5 job security is what you want and you're happy there and you're doing your thing, go for it, right? Because I don't think everybody's built to be like the leader or the manager. Some people have to be the employee. That's fine. It's what employee are you? Are you the one kissing ass, barely scraping by, doing the bare minimum just to make your money and get away with it? That to me, that's lying, cheating, that's being a fraud. I don't like that. Now if you're the employee that shows up, you have a nice desk area, you work hard, you do your thing, and you enjoy getting that paycheck, more power to you, man. That's the life that you want to live. Cool. Because that's what you want to live and you have the right to do that, right? But when you're lying and then pretending that you're not, or deceiving and all this stuff, and then you're the one spreading gossip around the office, which is another fucking thing that I hated, then to me, that doesn't make sense, right? You say one thing and you do another. You're being incongruent, which I hate. I hate people that are fake and incongruent, period. I don't think there's room for any of that in the world. For example, people will say, oh, you're so real, Bryan, and all this stuff, and you're congruent. But to me, it's like, why am I being admired for that? Isn't that the way we're supposed to be? Right? So it's overall the fakeness of that entity of the corporate 9-to-5. That's what I don't like. Right? Everyone's scared. Oh, I can't speak up because then I'm going to lose my job. And it's like, it's this trap that keeps you like, you have to be on edge all the time. Right? You've seen movies like Office Space and all that stuff that might be a little exaggerated. In some cases, probably not in some corporate environments, but I think it's a pretty good representation of kind of what it's like. Right? And people talk about it all the time. People want to sweep the subject under the rug, but I'm just going to be straight up with you, okay? I think that's pretty much it for what I want to talk about in this video. So the point is, don't settle. If you want to do your own thing, do it. People are going to be against it. People are going to doubt you. People are going to say you're going to fail because everybody will say, I want a new job, I want to do this, I want to do that, but they don't have the balls to step out and do it. And then when you do, you're going to be laughed at, pointed at, critiqued, criticized, because they don't want you to do it. They want you to be a part of a little miserable group. And then when you take a step out to be bold and be different, they're going to say, oh, look at you. You know, you want to be by yourself. What's wrong with you? So do it. That's what I did. I was criticized heavily, and I came out on the other side successful. Now I look back on all the people who doubted, hated, and criticized me, and I laugh. I have people messaging me now that saw me leave, criticized me, and they're like, whoa, look what you did in like 4.5 years. It's incredible. Yep, you can do it too, but I just chose to do it. I had the courage, and that's why I'm standing on this side of the fence, and you're still on the other. Okay, that's it for this one, guys. I do have an event. I always shout out the stuff at the end of my video, and I save it for the end. I have an event 19th and 20th, double your income. Information's on my website, bryancasella.com/events, in the description. Highly recommend you go to that one, limited spots, and my Modern Success program. If you're interested in learning more about confidence, sales, increasing your income, being a rock star at real estate, non-real estate, entrepreneurship, money management, then Modern Success is for you. It's my personal coaching program. I highly, highly recommend you get on it. We're getting new members all the time, and you deserve it for 2018 to create and design the life that you've always wanted. All right, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe. Also, I want you to go in the comment section and tell me if you're working 9 to 5, if you're transitioning into entrepreneurship, or whatever it is. All right, I'd love to hear from you. See ya.